Open roads, peace, overstanding, most of all, overstanding and unity. This is Siri-lily. I am here tonight to kind of go over with you a little bit about your human rights. Someone brought it to my attention that many of my people can't read. I'm very sensitive to that. I've said it before myself many times. A part of our problem as a people is our illiteracy. Illiteracy is something that was literally bred into us or out of us, the ability to read. Mainly because at many points in our history, or not so long ago in our history, it was illegal for Black or melanated people to read. If you had dark skin and you were caught reading, you could be jailed or put into the convict lease system. They just had any reason to re-enslave us. And so we already know these things. Many of my people don't. So, but I want to read to you, and I'm going to go ahead. The reason why I'm here tonight is because I want to read to you Agenda 21, Chapter 26 of the Human Rights. This is from the United Nations, and this is the Agenda 21. If you look it up, look up Agenda 21. Just look up Agenda 21 and go to Chapter 26. This is part of what the United Nations wants to institute for us. First of all, we need to recognize who we are as Afro-descendants, the indigenous people of the land. Yes, there were people who were brought to this land, but not all of us were brought here. Many of us were already here. I myself have Negro, not on my birth certificate, but on my birth certificate, my parents are listed as Negro. I don't know if any of you have ever looked that closely at your birth certificates. What are your parents listed as on your birth certificates? Because of my age, I'm probably going to see that many people who are a lot younger than me may not see that your parents are listed, that their race is listed, but the race is listed on my birth certificate of my parents. So you need to know that that was done nationwide throughout this nation, not just in Virginia. Agenda 21, Chapter 26, you're going to need to scroll down to it. It's a PDF. It's recognizing and strengthening the role of indigenous people and their communities. There's a basis for the action. It talks about that. It talks about the objectives. It talks about, the next outline is in the activities. Some indigenous people and their communities may require, in accordance with national legislation, greater control over their lands, self-management of their resources, participation in development decisions affecting them, including, where appropriate, participation in the establishment or management of protected areas. The following are some of the specific measures which governments could take. And you can read that for yourself. There's a lot of information here, and I know that many of you cannot read, but if you cannot read, you need to find someone who can sit down with you and go over this and read it with you, because this is very important information. We have human rights. We have rights that have been denied us. Yes, they've denied. It seems like when we say they've denied us civil rights, there's this argument about affirmative action, and in truth, if you try to take it to court, it's true. Civil rights is available to us, but human rights are not, and that's the thing they're not telling us. Human rights supersedes all law. It supersedes the American Constitution, U.S. law. And I'm going to go into my other device here, and I'm going to Google, so give me just a second, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And I don't really have to because I've pulled it up so many times, it doesn't take very long. I'm going to read a little bit too of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And I want to keep this video short enough so that it might go on Instagram. But just in Article 25 is what I read the other night on the conference call with Brother Ramzu. Everyone has a right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing, and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. It also has a second part of that article: motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection. The thing about this is that these are rights, these are human rights that are not being afforded to the American public. People think that this country is the best in the world, and they'll tell you that because it's rhetoric that they've heard over and over. But when you look at what's available to other countries and what other countries are allowing and participating in for their own people, you will find that many of the American people are suffering needlessly because we are the resource. We are a resource for this U.S. government. This U.S. government does not belong to the people anymore. And I don't care how you try to say that voting works. I want you to tell me where it's worked in the last, I don't know, just give me 25 years where voting's worked. I'll give you for the last 30 years. When is voting? What have we gotten out of voting? I'd like to know. And I'm sure there's someone out there who's going to say, but don't say affirmative action. Because that's not even, it's laughable. It's not even happening. Thanks for hanging in here with me. I'd like to read some more, and I think I will. I'm going to do another video, but I got to keep this one short so that you guys will listen, because our attention spans are very, very short these days. So bear with me as I go on to my next video. You can watch, I guess, the next episode. Peace.